What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys enjoyed my last video. Today we're still bass fishing, but I've been seeing the comments. Looks like people are having trouble catching some bass. They don't know what type of lures to use. So today I'm gonna add how I catch my bass, what lures I'm using, what colors I'm using, what areas to cast into. So we're going through it all today, guys. So I'm gonna show you everything I do to catch biggins. So I'm hoping today, you know, you can grab a little bit of something out of this video to try to help you catch some bass the next time you guys go out. I see all the new subscribers. We even got more. We're at 46. I preset. Hopefully we get to 100 soon. Keep commenting, keep smashing that like button. I see all the love, guys. I appreciate everything. And don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you guys stay up to date. And let's get to water, see if we can catch us a biggin today, guys. So let's get to it. Bow. All right, guys. The first thing I do, I just scope out the spots. I see some gunk right here. I see overhanging tree. Those are like the first areas you do want to cast into. You want to cast under this tree. There's some gunk along the side of this bank. You want to cast into there as well. I see a nice overhanging tree right over here as well. There's some vegetation over there. Bass love fountains, guys. I'm telling you, bass love fountains. You want to throw your lure into those fountains because they like hanging around there. I see some more gunk right here. I see a nice little bank over here with some overhanging plants, nice overhanging tree. I see another second fountain over there on the other side with some more gunk. You definitely want to scope out the area first, and then you want to check out the state of the water. It's fairly dirty. It's not really chocolatey, but it is stained. It is dirty because it did rain last night. So you do want to check the clarity of the water due to, you know, picking out the color lures you want to use. So since it's a little bit stained, I'm gonna be using probably dark colors. I will have at least one white colored lure on one of my bait casters just to see if they're hitting that color. But usually when it's stained like this, you want to use some dark colors. So we checked out the state of the water. It is stained. So I want to show you usually what I start doing when I have stained water in front of me. Usually I like throwing some dark colors. So something like maybe a jig head that's green pumpkin with a nice green pumpkin yum crawl. That will work good with some stained water that you're dealing with. Or maybe a black and blue swim bait. That will work as well. This is a Texas rig swim bait with a chatter. It's a super combo. Or, you know, you could go keep it simple. Just have a Ned rig with a green pumpkin crawl as well. You know, when you're dealing with some muddy water like that. I do have something already dark colored on my pole. I have a 3/8 ounce Booyah chatter with a green pumpkin with flash glitter on the crawl itself. So we're already set up. This is good to go. So we're gonna use this since it is dark colored. The water is stained today. And I also have a 3/8 ounce Guggen bait zinger. This is a sexy shad with a rage swimmer. I think this is a 3.75 inch, and this is the shad color as well. This is gonna be our white lure for today. But I did want to go through the lures and stuff like that today with you guys, 'cause I know you guys are having trouble. I wanted to show you guys some stuff that I have in here. I've been seeing people, you know, people are asking, do I use crankbaits? When do you use crankbaits? Honestly, I have crankbaits in my tackle box, but honestly, I really feel like crankbaits work really well in giant lakes. You know, when you're on a boat or you're on the side of a lake and you're just throwing into like deep waters. I'm talking about like starting 10 feet and deeper than that. Like usually they work well. I mean, there are ponds out there where there are deep waters, but it's super rare to come across a pond with some deep water, honestly, guys. I mean, it's still possible, but if you are gonna throw a crankbait, throw a crankbait that has a shad color. Keep it nice and simple for the bass. But I've never had any luck. I usually avoid crankbaits unless I'm at a lake or something. That's when I throw a crankbait. And if I'm fishing the bank of a lake, I would throw a crankbait. But for ponds, I usually won't throw a crankbait, honestly. I would throw maybe like a hard swim bait, something like this. This is a shad color. This will work well in a pond. This is a hard bait. This is by Catchco. This is a bull shad. Something like this will work well in a pond. This will work well even in stained water or clear water. Doesn't really matter. they'll still hit this. You just got to make sure that when you're throwing shads, you want to make sure you do see shad in the water sometimes, because I know that does help. If you see bluegills in the water or sunnies, throw something that looks like a sunny, throw something that looks like a bluegill. I'm telling you, you'll have better chance at catching bass when you see the type of baits that are in that water swimming. So if you see sunnies, throw something that looks like a sunny. If you see bluegills, throw something that looks like a bluegill. So I'm telling you, you have a better chance catching bass. What's really also deadly, if you guys are not using this, but if you're using an underspin, this is a swim bait bladed hook with an underspin with a raised swimmer on it. These are very deadly. These work well with stained water, clear water, any types of weather, guys. This will catch you a bass, guaranteed. Look at the spinners. So since the water's stained today, I just showed you my pole. This is what we're using. We're starting off with a white color spinner. If they're not going to be hitting this, I will probably throw on maybe a dark color spinner if they're not hitting the white colored sexy shad. And if I did happen to change it, I would probably throw on the other Guggen zinger I have. They call this the sunrise crawl. This is a nice green pumpkin. Has a lot going on. It's still double bladed, it's gold bladed, and we have a saucy swimmer with green pumpkin. This will be a dark color if the sexy shad wasn't working, they're not throwing that white color. This will probably be the next lure I'll probably be using if they're not hitting that white colored. They're not hitting none of the double bladed spinners. Maybe they want something more subtle. I will probably move down to maybe a one bladed spinner. Maybe the bass will start hitting that, you know. Or if they're still not hitting the one blade, maybe take off the swim bait off the spinner, and maybe they want something more of a presentation, something more smaller so they can eat on. Usually if their presentation is too big, maybe lower the presentation, go smaller and smaller until you start getting a bite, because usually maybe a bass want a smaller meal. They're not really looking for a big meal, they're looking for something small. So you kind of have to play around with it and figure out what the bass wants. A lot of them are different, a lot of them are picky, a lot of them are picky with color. So you're gonna have to just explore through your tackle and just figure out what they want to do. It's a puzzle, guys, but that's why we all fish, right? We want to solve that puzzle because we're looking for that big one, right? I do use buzz baits, but buzz baits are usually only used maybe at night in the pitch black. These are deadly. These will catch you a big one for sure, or these will catch you a couple bass in the morning, but it has to be early in the morning. I'm talking about the sun is just coming up. These are deadly too, when the sun is just coming up. But those are the only times I usually use buzz baits. I usually don't attach swim baits to these. I see guys that attach swim baits. Honestly, I don't like attaching those swim baits to these because it just makes the buzz bait just sink. And it just, because these are already heavy, and if you add a swim bait to these are just gonna sink, and it's just gonna not catch you no bass, you know what I'm saying? Over to my plastics real quick and show you guys what I like to use. These are my green pumpkin yum crawls. I love yums. It is cheap, you get plenty of them, and they last long, guys. And I love using green pumpkin crawls. You can use these with chatters, you can use these with spinners if you like. You know, there's no rules in fishing, guys, so you can use whatever you want to combo it with. But these are really good. They're not fatty, they're skinny, they don't swallow up the hook, because sometimes when you put, you know, trailers or swim baits onto hooks, it just eats up the hook, and then you just lose that hook ratio when you do get a bass, and you're like, what the heck, I just lost a bass, I had him hooked, I thought I had him hooked. It's because the swim bait, the plastic that you're using on that hook is probably swallowing up the hook, and that's why your hook ratio is really bad. So you want to make sure that it is nice and skinny, low profile, where you have enough room for the hook to feed through, and you have enough hook portion to, you know, just set that hook, guys. You know what I'm saying? These are more yum crawls. These are different. These are more bulky. These are more fattier. Usually I use these for maybe like a jig. These are more fatty and more bulkier. These are my jig crawls I like to use. I like using power baits here and there. These are usually I use for maybe Texas rig or maybe a Ned rig. I like using these. They got some really strong smell, but trust me, if you're using these, it's gonna get that smell stays on your fingers, guys, for like 3 days, no lie. But these do work well. I've caught bass before in these power baits, but these are like my last resort if I'm not getting no bites on the spinners, chatters. if I'm not getting nothing, this one I come to a power bait. Since it has a smell, I will go Texas rig style with these. These are always my last resorts if I can't catch nothing on my lures. Yamamoto's, Senko's, green pumpkin. I do have race tails. These work really well. These are usually my trailers. Got coffee scents. I mean, supposedly this works. I don't know. I don't really use it for the scents, honestly, guys. I don't know how you can tell if bass likes coffee. I don't know. I have no idea. But I think the scent doesn't work. But the colors does work. And I like the colors. I like the glitter that's going on. And the color works. And it's by Strike King. And they know how to make some good plastic baits, guys. Because the action on the Strike King plastics are gnarly, guys. So I like those too. And then we have our slow moving baits. We'll use this maybe as a Senko. We have a Gugum bait. We have a shake worm. I'll probably use this as maybe with a bullet weight and a maybe a 3 or 4/0 hook EWG with a bullet weight. I ain't gonna get to the weights right now because I know you guys are probably wondering what type of weights are you using. All right, guys. So these are the weights I've been using. These are slip sinkers. It doesn't matter what brand you're using. I up the weight of them. I go to 3/16 now. I think I was using a I think it was 3/8 or 3/18 ounce. I don't know. I was using something really light, and I wasn't getting no distance on the Senko because the Senko are so light, guys. So you can't get much distance. So I like using heavy weights so I could get a nice far cast. And plus, you want like a heavier weight because let's say you come across some gunk and you're trying to get that Senko in through that gunk. You're gonna need a heavier bullet weight to pierce through that gunk, guys. I'm telling you, I've had so much trouble trying to pierce just straight thick gunk, and I couldn't get that Senko right in that gunk. So with these bullet weights, guys, I'm telling you, these work really well if you're coming across some thick gunk and you want to get that worm in there right under that gunk. So these work really well. The size are awesome. I want to have all these lures, guys. I want to have everything that I've been using in the description below, so you guys can get straight to the lures and get straight to catching bass, guys. Since I showed you guys my lures, my go-tos, now it's time to go fish. I'm gonna start off with this first fountain. I'm gonna start off with the spinner since the sun is peeking out right now. I'm gonna work the spinner nice and slow because it is cold, guys. When you're using spinners, I see people jerking the spinners. I see people fast retrieving spinners. So when you're using a spinner, you wanna just retrieve it nice and steady, nice and slow. So I'm gonna cast straight into that fountain, guys. Straight into that fountain. Let it sink for a couple seconds. It's just straight, slow retrieve, guys. That's what we're doing right now. Start working the banks over here. Since there is gunk over here, you want to throw the spinner along the side of the gunk. You don't want to throw into the gunk, but you want to throw on the side of the gunk. All right, so we worked the left bank. Now you want to work the right bank, guys. You're going to work the right side of the bank. See a nice little log, guys. When you see logs and stuff like that in the water, you're going to want to throw your lure around that. Bass love wood, guys. Bass love wood and bass love gunk, trust me. All right, so we did the left side. We worked the right side. Oh, we worked that fountain over there. Now we're going to work just plain open water now. Now we're going to go straight into that deep end, guys. And we're going to see if there's anything in that deep end. No, I like to fish structure first, and if I'm not getting anything near structures, I like to, fish the banks. And then if I'm not fishing anything in banks, you want to start looking for gunk. You want to look for things that, bass like, and that's gunk, that's wood, that's overhanging trees, that's vegetation, that's fountains, that's, tree trunks in the water. You're gonna have to look for all that stuff, guys. If you really want to catch some bass, you need to really scope out the spot before you start casting into that pond or lake or wherever you're at. I did forget to mention, guys, when you're working banks, you want to start off as close as possible to the bank and then work your way out to the deeper end. So for example, right there, it's close enough. I'm gonna work that side. You want to go maybe 3 to 4 feet more out, so out there. And you just keep want to work your way out to the deeper end. And if you get no bites, you keep going into the deeper end, guys. but you want to start working the bank as close as possible and working your way out to the deep end. All right, so we got no bites with the spinner. So now we're gonna move into the chatter. So let's grab the chatter. And let's just work the same spots that we just worked, but with the chatter this time. So we'll work the left side of the bank. And all I'm doing with the chatter is letting it sink, and I'm just hopping the chatter off the bottom, guys. That's all we're doing with the chatter, is hopping off the bottom. And guys, let the bad boy sink. Once it sinks, start hopping off the bottom, guys. I give it like maybe 2 jerks when I'm hopping it. Go 1, 2, let it sink. 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 So I found some overhanging trees right in front of me. Found some gunk and some vegetation over here with some trees in the water. I know you guys can't see it, but there are trees in the water. I want to stay away from the bank. I don't want to spook the bass. Bass really do have good eyesight, guys. So I want to stay away from the bank and just far cast and work my way in this situation. So I feel like there might be some bass over here. So I want to stay away from the bank. None so far, guys. I still want to stay away from the bank. Ooh, just see some movement right here. In this situation, I want to stay away from the bank. I do feel like there might be some bass here, so I'm starting off in the deep end and working my way into the bank. So they're not hitting the chatter and they're not hitting the spinner bait, so I'm going to move to something slower. I'm going to move to a Senko. So that is what I'm about to set up. I'll show you guys when I'm done setting up. All right, guys, so I threw on a EWG 3/0 hook with a bullet weight, and we're gonna use a Guggen shake worm on it. I'm gonna feed it through to the top, just like that. Once you hit where it starts curving, you wanna pierce that right through, just like that. You just wanna feed this all the way through, guys. The reason I go past the knot, I wanna show you guys why, guys. Fed it through the knot. Now you want it to just sit, so you want to make sure you measure this correctly. You want the worm to sit just like that. So we have to pierce it right here, guys. So what we're gonna do is just pierce that right through, just like that. And then you want to lift it up just a little bit. So you want to tuck in that hook. And there you go, guys. That is your Texas rig worm. And the reason I fed it past the knot is because when you're casting out, guys, this bullet weight bangs on that metal, and usually that scares the bass. When they hear that, it freaks them out, and it slams hard, guys. When I'm talking about it slams hard when you cast out there, the worm or whatever I'm using as a cushion, so it just has a silent, I'm talking deadly silent approach when it hits that water, guys. So let's see if they'll hit this, guys. So let's see if we can catch one on the Guggen worm. Let that bad boy sink, wait a few seconds. I'm gonna start jerking it. So the worm wasn't working, so I threw on a Yum Crawl Black and Blue. It's still Texas rig style. We still got the weight on there. We're gonna see if the bass want a crawl. Let's get it. Straight dive. All right, guys, so since my GoPro died, we're doing everything off the iPhone. I'm gonna work the Texas rig crawl over here. I see some overhanging trees. The water looks fairly deep. Found that first bite here, straight chewed it, check that out. Took one of the arms off. We had to throw in another one. There you have it, guys. We're doing a power bait crawl. It's got some scent on it, so hopefully this works.
guys. Still no luck. We're still trying out here, guys. So we're gonna start off with the plastic crawl over here. I'm gonna work this fountain. I'm telling you, I love fountains. So we'll work the Texas rig power bait, Texas bait, plastic crawl. I think I said that right. I think I messed it up. Let's get to it. Still no luck. We're gonna go to the spinner now, guys. We just missed the bite, guys. Oh man, we just missed it. Just lost it, guys. Alright guys, so that's it for the video. As you can see, didn't catch no bass. We missed the bite and we got us a big one and he came right off last second, right when I was getting him to the bank. So you can't win it all. You win some, you lose some. It's part of the puzzle, it's part of the game. That's why we all fish, right? So hopefully you guys could take a pointer, take a tip from this video so you guys could get back out there and start catching bigger fish and just catch more bass in general. That was just the whole purpose of the video. It's just bass one-on-one, my go-tos, my how-tos. And all the lures you guys see, all the equipment you guys see during this video, I'll have all the links below in the description so you guys get to those lures quick as you guys get back out there and catch a big one. And yeah, until next time guys, bent rods baby, let's get it, bow. Thank you.